You ever watch these warriors go at it and wonder, man, what got this whole thing started? Well, my friends, you're in the right place. We're about to dive deep into the wild world of MMA. Mixed martial arts, or MMA, is one of the fastest growing sports in the world, blending ancient traditions with modern combat. In today's video, we're diving into 10 fascinating facts that showcase the history, evolution, and culture of this electrifying sport. So you think MMA is just a modern invention, huh? Think again. This stuff goes way back, like way back. I'm talking ancient Greece, man. These guys were throwing down in a brutal combat sport called Pankration. Pankration wasn't for the faint of heart. Imagine a mix of wrestling and striking but with very few rules. It was raw, it was visceral, and it was a true test of strength, skill, and will. These dudes were gladiators, man, straight up gladiators. They'd be grappling, punching, kicking, trying to submit each other. And the crazy part? This was an Olympic sport. Can you imagine that happening today? Pankration was a huge part of ancient Greek culture and the foundation upon which modern MMA is built. Alright, fast forward a couple thousand years to 1993. The world is a different place, but the human desire to see a good fight, that never goes away. And that's where the UFC comes in. The early UFC, man, it was like unleashing a hurricane on the sports world. Nobody had seen anything like it before. It was raw, it was brutal, and it had this anything-goes feel that just captivated audiences. You had all these different fighting styles clashing in the Octagon, boxing, wrestling, jiu-jitsu, karate, sumo, you name it. It was like a real-life video game, and the world couldn't get enough. The UFC forced everyone to rethink their ideas about fighting, paving the way for the more technical, strategic MMA we know and love today. It was chaotic, unpredictable, and sometimes downright scary, but that was part of the appeal. Look, I'm all for a good David and Goliath story, but when it comes to fighting, size matters. That's why the UFC and MMA in general adopted weight classes. Weight classes level the playing field, making sure that fighters are competing against opponents of similar size and strength. This allows for more technical and strategic bouts because you're not just relying on brute force to win. You have to outthink your opponent, use your skills, and exploit their weaknesses. Plus, it creates a more diverse range of champions. Each weight class has its own unique style and challenges, which keeps things interesting for both the fighters and the fans. It's like watching two thoroughbred racehorses go head-to-head. Alright, let's talk about the Octagon. It's become synonymous with MMA, but have you ever stopped to think about why it's shaped that way? First off, the Octagon is designed to prevent fighters from getting stuck in corners. In a square ring, fighters can get trapped and pounded on. The 8 sides of the Octagon eliminate those sharp corners, creating more angles for movement and escape. This means more exciting fights because fighters are constantly moving, striking, and grappling. But the Octagon is more than just a fighting space. It represents the boundaries, the rules, and the contained chaos of MMA. When those doors close, anything can happen. It's a crucible where fighters forge their legacies, where legends are made and broken. One of the things that makes MMA so damn fascinating is the sheer variety of fighting styles. You've got Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, which focuses on ground fighting and submission holds. It's a discipline that requires not just physical strength, but also a deep understanding of leverage and technique. Then there's Muay Thai, known as the art of 8 limbs, which utilizes punches, kicks, elbows, and knees. It's a striking art that can be brutal and beautiful at the same time. Boxing, on the other hand, is all about the hands, precision, speed, and power. Wrestling brings a whole different dynamic with its focus on takedowns and control. Judo, with its throws and grappling techniques, adds another layer of complexity. Karate, often seen as a traditional martial art, emphasizes striking with both the hands and feet. And let's not forget Sambo, a Russian martial art that combines judo and wrestling techniques. The list goes on, with each style offering its own unique set of skills and strategies. It's like a melting pot of combat, and the best fighters are the ones who can blend these styles together seamlessly. They take the best elements from each discipline and create a fighting style that's uniquely their own. You can't just be a one-trick pony in the Octagon. Specializing in one area might get you so far, but to truly excel, you need to be versatile. If you're a pure boxer, for example, you better believe your opponent is going to try to take you down and submit you. The same goes for a wrestler who might struggle against a skilled striker. That's why it's crucial for MMA fighters to be well-rounded and adaptable. They need to train in multiple disciplines to prepare for any situation. They need to be able to strike, grapple, defend takedowns, and control the fight wherever it goes. This versatility is what sets the great fighters apart from the good ones. This constant evolution of fighting styles is what makes MMA so unpredictable and exciting. Every fight is a new challenge, a new puzzle to solve. You never know what's going to happen when two highly skilled athletes with different backgrounds step into the octagon. It's a clash of techniques, strategies, and wills. It's a sport that never gets stale, because it's always evolving. Fighters are constantly learning, adapting, and pushing the boundaries of what's possible in combat sports. So, you're in the octagon, the adrenaline is pumping, and you're ready to knock your opponent's block off. The crowd is roaring, the lights are blinding, and every muscle in your body is primed for action. This is what you've trained for, the moment you've been waiting for. But it's not just about brute strength or raw power. It's about strategy, timing, and mental toughness. But hold on a second, because you've only got 5 minutes to do it. 5 minutes might seem like a short time, but in the octagon, it can feel like an eternity. Every second counts, and every move you make could be the difference between victory and defeat. That's the beauty of the round system in MMA. It breaks the fight into manageable chunks, giving fighters a chance to regroup and strategize. Each round is a fresh start, a new opportunity to turn the tide in your favor. It creates a sense of urgency, forcing fighters to be aggressive and go for the finish. You can't afford to be passive or hesitant. You have to seize the moment and make every strike count. The clock is always ticking, adding pressure and intensity to every exchange. Unlike boxing, where you can sometimes coast through rounds and rely on points, MMA is all about ending the fight decisively. Whether it's a knockout, a submission, or a referee stoppage, the goal is to finish the fight before the final bell. Each round is like a mini-fight within itself, and fighters have to pace themselves accordingly. They need to manage their energy, knowing when to push forward and when to hold back. It's a test of endurance as much as skill. They can't just go all out for 5 minutes straight because they'll gas out and become vulnerable. Fatigue can be a fighter's worst enemy, sapping their strength and slowing their reflexes. That's why conditioning and stamina are so crucial in MMA. It's a delicate balance between aggression and strategy. Fighters need to be smart, picking their moments and conserving their energy for when it really counts. Listening to their coaches and adapting their game plan on the fly can make all the difference. The round system adds another layer of complexity to an already complex sport. It's not just about who can hit the hardest or take the most punishment, it's about who can think on their feet and adapt to the ever-changing dynamics of the fight. It's about who can manage their energy, exploit their opponent's weaknesses, and capitalize on opportunities when they present themselves. In the end, the fighter who can master the art of balancing aggression with strategy will be the one who comes out on top. Now let's talk about the different ways to win a fight in MMA. It's not just about brute strength or sheer willpower, it's a complex dance of strategy, skill, and sometimes a bit of luck. I always say, there are more ways to finish a fight than there are ways to order a pizza. And trust me, I've seen some pretty creative pizza orders in my time. You've got your classic knockout where you put your opponent to sleep with a perfectly placed punch, kick, knee, or elbow. It's the kind of finish that gets the crowd on their feet, roaring with excitement. Then there's the technical knockout or TKO where the referee steps in and stops the fight because one fighter is taking too much damage. It's a call made to protect the fighters, ensuring no one gets seriously hurt. But my personal favorite? The submission. It's the epitome of technique and finesse in the sport. There's just something so beautiful and technical about forcing your opponent to tap out. It's a testament to one's skill and understanding of the human body. Whether it's a slick armbar, a fight-ending rear naked choke, or a brutal leg lock, submissions require a different kind of skill set. It's not just about strength, it's about leverage, timing, and precision. Submissions are like a chess game, where every move counts, and one wrong step can lead to defeat. It's a mental battle as much as it is a physical one. And of course, there's always the judge's decision, which is basically a tiebreaker if the fight goes the distance. It's not the most glamorous way to win, but it shows endurance and consistency. Judges score the fight based on a bunch of criteria, like effective striking, grappling control, and aggression. Every aspect of the fight is scrutinized to determine the winner. The point is, in MMA, there are multiple paths to victory. Each fighter brings their own unique style and strategy to the cage, making every match a thrilling and unpredictable spectacle. Whether it's a knockout, a submission, or a judge's decision, the journey to victory is what makes MMA so captivating. Let's talk about the women of MMA, because these ladies are not to be messed with. They're tough, they're skilled, and they're changing the game. For years, women's MMA was overlooked and underappreciated. But thanks to pioneers like Gina Carano and Chris Cyborg, who paved the way for future generations, women's MMA has exploded in popularity. And then came Ronda Rousey. Ronda, she was a force of nature, man. She dominated her division with her signature armbar, and she brought a whole new level of attention to women's MMA. And today we've got incredible female fighters like Amanda Nunes, Valentina Shevchenko, Zhang Weili, and Rose Namajunas, who are all absolute beasts in the Octagon. These women are breaking down barriers and inspiring a whole new generation of fighters. They're showing the world that anything is possible if you set your mind to it and work your ass off. One of the coolest things about MMA is its global appeal. It's not just an American sport, it's a worldwide phenomenon. You've got fighters from Brazil, Russia, Ireland, Nigeria, China, Japan, Australia, you name it. And each country brings its own unique flavor and fighting style to the Octagon. It's like the Olympics of fighting, where the best athletes from around the world come together to test their skills against each other. MMA events are held all over the globe, drawing huge crowds and generating billions of dollars in revenue. MMA brings people from all walks of life together, breaking down barriers and fostering understanding. It's a reminder that no matter where you come from, we all share a common love for competition, athleticism, and a good scrap. Look, I'm not gonna lie, MMA is not for the faint of heart. It's a brutal, unforgiving sport that demands every ounce of your physical and mental strength. These fighters, they're not just athletes, they're warriors. They push their bodies to the absolute limit, day in and day out, preparing for the ultimate test inside the Octagon. The training is grueling. We're talking hours of sparring, grappling, weightlifting, conditioning, and studying film. But it's not just about physical toughness, it's about mental resilience. MMA fighters have to be able to handle pressure, overcome adversity, and stay calm under fire. It takes courage, determination, and an unwavering belief in yourself. These fighters are pushing the limits of human potential, showing us what's possible when you combine hard work, dedication, and a never-say-die attitude. So there you have it, folks, the wild world of MMA. From its ancient roots to its global domination, MMA has come a long way. It's a sport that's constantly evolving, always exciting, and never boring. And the best part, this is just the beginning. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon for more amazing content. See you in the next video.